My dad has two auto parts houses, and I work at the second location that we bought a few years ago. Their store is super haunted, but I only ever felt watched and heard footsteps. The ghost at my store talks. There will be times where I'm closing and can hear heavy breathing and whispering in the back office. Another time I was at the counter and boxes that had been on a shelf out back for years fell at one time. I know this is not the scariest story, but I'm terrified. I think I just saw an actual vampire. This person seemed out of place and no one seemed to notice him but me. He approached me while whistling and I instantly got a headache. He passed by with his mouth obscurely open. It seemed as though he has a lot of teeth in his mouth. Did I see something odd or was it just a person messing with me? Does anyone have real vampire experiences? I, age 44 male, have strange memories of things that occurred in and around the house I lived in until I was 12 years old. It was a small, ranch-style house in a working-class neighborhood, and was my parents' first home which they had built in 1981. I remember a pervasive feeling of being watched, and being terrified to sleep or even get out of bed at night in most cases. One of my earliest childhood memories is of what I can only describe as a small section of the ceiling in the hallway outside of my bedroom separating, becoming animated and settling over my bed. This thing got very close to my face and spoke to me, though I don't know/remember what it said. As time went on, I would sometimes hear what sounded like a person in heavy socks or slippers dragging their feet down the carpeted hallway as they walked. Years later, my parents told me they also had paranormal experiences in the house. My mom claims to have seen an apparition in the same hallway, and my dad told me he awoke early one morning to see a white mist hovering above their bed. After we moved to another town in 1992, I was very relieved and didn't have any experiences in our new house. That said, to this day when I enter certain spaces, houses in particular, I quickly get a similar feeling of dread/being watched that takes me back to my childhood. I had a dream last night that felt real. I had a dream I was talking to a guy from Mexico. It was unclear if he was a lower-ranking reptilian or just a normal human. But in the dream there was this weird place for the elites and reptilians to basically torture humans. It was huge. And the guy told me they would pimp out the place to the reptilians' overlords and basically his family was able to get enough money for life for just one event there. He said the reptilians would torture humans by putting them on like a scale thing and play games like whichever side was the heaviest would get molten lava type liquid poured on them, and other games that ultimately ended in death. This place was like a venue for them and a form of entertainment. It was very disturbing because it felt really. I'm curious if anyone has had any dreams like this or if Mexico is significant in the reptilians world. Shadow people. I work in the medical field and was working up a patient who had come in for a routine exam. At the beginning of the exam, the mom of the patient let me know that they were there because the child psychiatrist wanted to rule out anything physically wrong before proceeding with a mental evaluation. This prompted me to ask what was going on with her child, and before the mom could respond, the child, 12, says they see shadow people. I asked how long they had been seeing the shadow people and they said since I was 5. I asked where they saw them, such as out of the corner of their eye, etc. And they responded with everywhere, especially in mirrors. I asked what they looked like and they responded with black figures. Also worth mentioning, when they said they had been seeing them since they were 5, the mom said, "You mean when all that other stuff started happening?" From a medical standpoint, I know this could be schizophrenia, but as a person who's experienced things myself that I can't explain, especially when I was a child, I wonder if this could be paranormal. Lastly, after running some tests, there was nothing physically wrong with her. What do you guys think? My 10-year-old daughter sleep talks. Sometimes she'll even sit up and look around. Last night she dozed off on the couch and 15 minutes later, she sat up and said, "Where did it go?" I said, "It's okay honey, go back to bed." She laid down and asked me again where it went. I said, "Go back to sleep." Then I immediately heard a man's voice right in front of me say, "No." I looked at my daughter and she was asleep again. My husband was in another part of the house in our bedroom asleep. I'm still shaken. There was a man who passed away in our living room in 2017. There was also a man who shot his wife in the head with a shotgun in 1986 in the driveway across the street. We also live by a cemetery. Like, next door. Never felt spooked until last night. I haven't slept. The voice was so aggressive. I hate this so much. It was so close and so real. I don't know how else to explain it. Update: I've just asked my daughter if she ever has dreams about ghosts or sees ghosts. She said no. I asked if she thought the house was haunted. She said, "Well, there are the dimes." I forgot about the dimes. They fall on her. She has so many dimes. We rarely use cash, and she has a reloadable cash card, so we have no idea where they come from. She'll be in the kitchen, and I'll hear a coin hit the floor. She'll say, "Thanks Jeff," and put it in her bank in her room. I forgot all about that. I didn't tell her what happened last night. I think it will terrify her.
Like, share, subscribe and be sure to check the notification bell. Follow the Atomic Shaman on Twitter at Motel and RV Park. Listen to Paranormal Green Text Stories on Atomic Shaman TTS on YouTube. Catch the live streams of Atomic Shaman Sweat Lodge only on Rumble.